Well, whenever we are talking about Egypt registry, we have a legend, Dr. Raga Mansour. No words ever can express and personality like Dr. Raga. Dr. Raga not only she did massively contributed to the science and art of ART in Egypt, Middle East, and the whole world. She also spearheaded the development, maintenance, advancement of IVF registry in Egypt and the Middle East and their international acknowledgement. She is a first-class scientist, human, everything actually. No words can express ever Dr. Raga Mansour. And her recent endeavors have taken her creative output in an extra direction. Actually, her recent artistic pieces are a testament to the versatility of her skills and her ability to flourish in a multitude of contexts. Thank you, Dr. Raga. My generation and many generations before me and after me owe you, and you will be always an everlasting idol for all of us. Thank you. Well, how it started? It started by the sincere efforts of Dr. Raga in the distinguished journal, MEFS journal, and the study was about the procedures of ART cycles initiated in Egypt in year 1999 and 2000. The design was formed prepared by the International Working Group for Registers on Assisted Reproduction. Data were collected from 17 centers in 1999 and 18 centers in 2000, in the year 2000. Well, Egypt is a large and a highly influential country. International Committee for Monitoring ART ICMART had a workshop in Cairo to disseminate tools for data collection and train people to develop national and regional registries in the Middle East. 139 specialists, 97 IVF centers, 14 countries in Middle East participated. 32 centers, 8 countries completed IVF result in year 2000. Data included 1,778 IVF, more than 14,000 XC cycle, 1,030 frozen sod cycle, and 45 gift cycles. Well, Dr. Raga had sent forms to each ART clinics in Egypt to be completed voluntarily. Data came directly to Egyptian registry anonymously. Forms designed to have information on number of treatments, pregnancies for IVF, XC, gift, and the frozen transfer. Data on aspirations, pregnancies, deliveries by women's age, number of transferred embryos for fresh and the frozen transfer, gestational age by treatment, multiple deliveries, neonatal outcome, live birth, stillbirth, neonatal death, and BGDs joined shortly, treatment complication, and congenital anomalies. All data are very, very significant to our practice. Well, Dr. Mansour very keen on publication, on top publication in the highest journals, and yearly there have been reports by the Egypt IVF registry published in MEFS journal, and here this is a list, are always the centers participating anonymously, a list of these distinguished centers and acknowledgement for their significant participation, and I see many of my professors participating from the early reports. Well, not only that, Egypt has been part of international recognition from the early beginning and has been part of the publications published like part of the ICMART, published in the highest quality journal in human reproduction and fertility sterility, and vice versa. All the time, Egypt has been part of the published international data. And here I have cuts from different years published as a part of ICMART across different years. Well, then Dr. Selkdar, distinguished Dr. Selkdar, with extensive, sincere efforts, started the issue of ANARA, which is the African Network and Registry for ART, and it's responsible for collecting data from all over Africa from the year 2013. Now, before data were taken in Egypt from each center, sent to Dr. Raga anonymously, as I already stated, and then delivered to ICMART. Now, data from each center in Egypt are delivered directly to Dr. Selk in ANARA without any thing else. And of course, each center is also reported anonymously, and whenever the data comes out collectively from Egypt, they are come out collectively without the individual data of each center, but it gives us a very important idea about the overall cycles and the overall performance and the overall trend based on our patient population, which is very important. Dr. Selk is going to share with us here a very nice paper just published current year in RBM Online about the data from Africa from 2013 to 2017, and she kindly had make a special acknowledgement for the participating center, and these are 15 centers from Egypt participating in the recent paper published current year. Ladies and gentlemen, I will just share with you important trends to know what was going on along these years from 1999 to the year 2017. In blue, these are the number of cycles from Egypt, and as you can see, started from 5,000 cycle and with very major contribution in the year 2001, and then fluctuating contribution. However, we all know that the number of cycles in Egypt have increased recently, and this is translated in the last reports, as here you can see in 2013 up to 2017. But in orange, this is the remaining countries of Africa. This is in orange from Africa and in blue from Egypt. In all scenarios, we see that the data from cycles of Egypt constitute almost 50 or even more than 50% of cycles in Africa. Again, Egypt is a very big and highly influential country. However, we need to move more and more forward for more and more international recognition, and we hope more data will come out in the next years and more cycles will represent Egypt more and more strongly, however, all over Africa or in ICMAR and what we deserve from worldwide recognition. And here, this is the last ICMAR published current year in Copenhagen, 2020. This is a regional contribution in the year 2016. And as you can see here, 2% from Middle East and 2% from Africa. I think we deserve more participation and more worldwide recognition. And here, this is the growth of ERT cycles by region. And as you can see also, this is the growth of cycle from Africa and Middle East. I think with more and more publication and more delivering of our data, we will show more and more growth of ERT cycles from our region. Another important issue is proper patient counseling based on our population characteristic. I'm sure Dr. Yaoub, Dr. Selk are going to cover this issue. However, we have the chance, based on this data, to counsel properly with our patients based on their own data, not that based on data coming from Europe or US. These are data coming from Egypt in blue. This is pregnancy rate along years, and as you can see, this is along all women ages. Of course, under the age of 35, it's higher, but this is the overall trend. And as you can see, it's almost around 40% in the last couple of years. This is one interesting finding to share our patient with based on their specific characteristics. This is the percent of cycle with frozen transfer, and now we all know and acknowledge the importance of having extra embryos for vitrification. And as you can see, very interestingly, this is data in gray from Egypt and in blue from Africa. Here it's only 5% in 1999, but in Africa, from Egypt, sorry, in 2012, it was more than 4 times increase. And here, Egypt, as part of Africa, the percent of frozen cycle in year 2017, now we are talking about 26%. I think even in our practice now, we have more than 26% having extra embryos available for vitrification in our cycle. And what I like very much in the paper of Dr. Selk, I'm sure she is going to share, is the percent of frozen all cycle. We are having more and more number of cycles with freeze-all embryos, much safer outcome and much better pregnancy outcome, especially in certain categories. As you all know, it started in 2013 with 1.7% only and almost 10% in 2017. I'm sure now we are having more and more cycle. It would be very interesting to have more data and to counsel with our patient on this large body of evidence. This is pregnancy from frozen cycle. As you can see, it started with 16%. Now we are talking about more than 2.5 times increase in pregnancy with frozen cycle. And this is data, this is our data. We see studies, huge studies coming from US, coming from Europe, talking about the pregnancy between fresh and frozen, comparable. Some studies said this is higher and others said the opposite, whatever. Here, based on our data, the pregnancy in fresh and frozen are comparable based on our patient-specific population, maybe with classification, high responder, poor responder, whatever. We will come out with very interesting finding, again, based on our population. The trend in declining number of transferred embryos without adversely impact pregnancy outcome will be addressed very elegantly from Dr. Silk with very interesting findings which are very useful for our patient counseling. There are many advantages for sharing and our data and our proper international recognition. I'm sure Dr. Yaoub, Dr. Silk, Dr. Babs are going to share with us many of these advantages based on data and based on facts which are, they are very powerful for our practice. Thank you so much and waiting for your highly valuable contribution in another data. Thank you.